Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to the channel. Part 185. So, I'm aware this video is coming out stupid late. I really should have made it sooner, but I had things to do, had box office predictions to make, and those took a long time. So, I'm here now. I'm ready to talk about what happened yesterday and a couple of days before that because a lot has gone down. This went from a very slow week to a very busy week, like in mere 2 days. It's kind of crazy, but that's not unusual for cancel. This happens it happens pretty regularly where I think, oh, I'm going to talk about one thing and I end up talking about like 10 things. So yeah, so quite a bit happened yesterday regarding some Warner Brothers movies and a Universal movie. That Universal movie being the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Before we talk about any of that, something happened on Monday, and it was about the John Wick spinoff Ballerina. I finally got a date. June 7th, 2024. So next summer, next June. All right. So I've known this movie was like filmed and everything for like a long time, and it just never got a date until like recently. They always like gave like a very vague release window, but now they're like, okay, John Wick 4 is out. Now we can do this. Now we can focus on really focus on Ballerina. So Ballerina, it stars Ana de Armas. Is that how you say her name? I probably butchered it. Whatever. I know Ballerina. I'm pretty sure that stems from John Wick 3 because there's a little like section of the movie where it had like ballerinas and it wasn't a little more of a gritty take on ballerinas. And the movie's kind of like centered around that. At least that's what I believe. Yeah, I think it's kind of like how the Nun, like in the Nun movie, where you have like the Nun like show up very briefly in Conjuring 2, and then they made a movie about the Nun in 2018. It's kind of like that. It's the vibe I'm getting. Um, yeah. So obviously, I mean, John Wick is such a unique franchise. It started like completely from the ground up. The first movie was only like a modest hit, but it grew a big following. Like once it was released like on home media, that following and that success there led to a sequel, and that sequel did way better. And then that led to more people discovering John Wick, and they made a third one, and even more people discovered John Wick. It just grew and grew and grew into this beast that it is now. I mean, the most recent John Wick movie, John Wick Chapter 4, has already made 250 million worldwide. So obviously, you want to keep going with this brand. So that's why they're making spin-offs with, the Ballerina being like the first one. I know there's supposed to be like a show on Peacock, the Continental too. And because John Wick 4 is done really well, apparently initially like they were like it's weird. They were like, yeah, John Wick 5 is totally gonna happen, but they're like, you know what? Maybe maybe we can like let John Wick go. Maybe we can just stop. But then the box office results for chapter 4, they're just like, ugh, there's too much money to be made. Like, could we make a John Wick 5? So they're kind of like Lionsgate, they really want to do John Wick 5. Even though can I say spoiler alert? I mean the movie's 2 weeks old. Um okay, so let's just say John Wick 4 makes a John Wick 5 a little difficult to make. Let's just say that. Um but they clearly want to make a 5 because look at all this money that John Wick's been making. So yeah, and imagine the Ballerina. I don't think it will do as well as the core John Wick movies. I don't imagine it will, but I think it'll do all right on its own as a spin-off because I think there's enough. I think the brand name that is John Wick, I think will help the movie out. But yeah, we got a summer 2024 movie in the form of Ballerina, so yay, I guess. So that happened on Monday, and I initially thought of making a cancel episode just on that, but then I was like, It just didn't happen. Kind of those plans fell through, and I was like, okay, I'll just wait till something else happens. And yesterday, that something else did happen, and boy, it sure happened. So let's talk about Warner Brothers. This is not the first time I talked about multiple Warner Brothers movies because the whole thing with Warner Brothers is just a pure chaos like for like a whole year. Nothing really bad has happened here. Like none of it is really like super negative, but stuff has gone down. The main thing is that Aquaman 2, or Aquaman the Lost Kingdom, has changed its date. It's no longer coming out on Christmas Day. Instead, it's coming out the 20th, so 5 days earlier on that Wednesday. And I always thought the Christmas Day release of Aquaman 2 was kind of weird. I mean, the first Aquaman didn't do that. That opened like right before Christmas. Like, it opened like the weekend before Christmas, and then you had the Christmas Day, and it was able to have a bunch of momentum throughout that holiday. So I thought you want to do the same for the sequel, but they didn't. They're just like, we're gonna release this Christmas Day. I'm just like, I don't know. It feels like a weird decision, but they changed it to, I guess, a better slot. I don't know about Aquaman 2. I because Amber Heard's in it, I refuse to watch it. That is a promise I made to myself, and I'm not breaking that promise. But plus, I didn't think Aquaman was that good. It had its moments, but it was just kind of a slog. It was just the ending fight scene. I was so bored. I was bored out of my mind watching that. I just didn't think it was any good, but some people liked it. And if you like it, good for you. But for me, I thought Aquaman just was bleh, real bleh. So yeah, that didn't exactly make me up. So I wasn't exactly pumped when Aquaman 2 got announced. And knowing all the stuff we know now about Amber Heard, yeah, I don't want to watch this movie. And some people might even want to watch it because one, it's a DCU. The DCU is dead. This is the last. This is the last of the old DCEU. Like after this, we are going straight towards the James Gunn, Peter Safran, like whatever they're cooking up with the DCU, with Superman Legacy and everything after that. So that kind of makes the movie worthless, just like Shazam 2. And also, test screenings for the movie apparently went horrible. Like they were a complete disaster. So that doesn't exactly give me confidence in the movie. So, Aquaman 2 is not looking good. It's not looking good. I feel like the failure of Shazam 2 might be an omen for Aquaman 2. I mean, sure, Aquaman made $1 billion. It's the biggest DC movie of all time. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it happened. We live in a weird timeline. But yeah, Aquaman 2, even with this, I guess, arguably a better date, I, I don't see it being a hit. I really don't. I'm struggling to just visualize this movie, making money. But now it's going to be going up against Ghostbusters, whatever they're going to call it, 4, and Ghostbusters 4, because 2016 that doesn't count. Um, so Ghostbusters 4 and Illuminations Migration. So yeah, yeah, and it's swapped with another movie. It swapped dates with The Color Purple, which originally is supposed to come out the 20th, but now it's coming out Christmas Day, which I feel is more appropriate. I feel like this swap makes a little more sense in my brain because like The Color Purple, like I imagine a movie like that would open on Christmas Day because a lot of like obviously like award centric movies they like opening either like on Christmas Day. They like doing that. So yeah, yeah, this makes sense in my brain. And who knows how that'll do? I mean, it could do well, it could do terrible. I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like. I mean, I know the original Color Purple is a classic now, but I don't know about this new one. I don't know much about it. We have to see what it looks like before I can really judge it. But yeah, I say this swap between this and Aquaman 2, I think it's a good thing. So, yeah. What else we got? The Wise Guys, whatever that is. Um that has a date of February 2nd of 2024, so next February. And apparently it pushed the movie Toto off that date, and now that movie is undated. It's in the ether. Just like Salem's Lot. And Salem's Lot is nowhere to be mentioned here, which really tells me that they're gonna kill that movie. They're just gonna kill it. They're gonna cancel it. I mean, at this point, what, like, are you gonna release it or not? Like, what are you doing? Like, if you're not gonna release it, then just kill it. Sure, you'll lose money. You're gonna have to burn all the money you spent on it, but like, it's better than just having it be in just development hell, or I guess release date hell in this case. So it's just weird. But yeah, this Wise Guys movie is now in February, and Toto is just gone. And we got a new movie, the Minecraft movie. I've heard about a Minecraft movie for at least a decade at this point. It was like they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make it," and then it just never happened. Never. It just, I guess it never really got off the ground. I guess until now, because it has a date, April 4th, 2025. Literally the same weekend as the Sonic movie 2 and the Super Mario Brothers movie. There is no way this isn't. This is a coincidence. I refuse to believe this is a coincidence. Um, they clearly see like the success of that weekend and they want to replicate that. No doubt in my mind. That's what. But that's what's going on here. I mean, like having just all these video game movies coming out the first week of April, like from Sonic 2, Mario, now this. Like, come on, this is clearly strategic. So yeah, and it apparently stars Jason Momoa, which okay, I don't know how to feel about that. Um, I what role would he even play in that? What would he even? Is he gonna be himself? Like a Minecraft version of himself? I don't know. It's weird, but for all you Minecrafters out there, all you Minecraft stands out there, all you Dream stands, I swear it part of me feels like Dream is gonna make a cameo in the Minecraft movie. They're just gonna put him in there, or they'll reference him in there because Dream is synonymous with Minecraft at this point. I imagine they'd want to do that to, be hip with the kids. But um yeah, it's just, I don't know. Oh no, we'll see. Um Apparently there's this December 2025 movie for a movie named In the Future, and that's pretty much it for Warner Brothers. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but stuff did happen. So I mean, there's that. And then the last thing, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This has been in development for so long. So long. About as long, I think, as long as the Minecraft movie. Why did it take so long for these movies to get made? Like, these games were relevant like 10 plus years ago. You should have made them then at the peak of their popularity, not like 10 years after the fact. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing? It's like when they decided to make the Sonic movie like 30 years too late. Or really 20 years too late. They should have made it like that Sonic movie like around the time of Sonic Adventure. Like, it's so weird. I don't get it. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's movie, it's coming this year, October 27th. A theatrical and on Peacock. Yes, they're still doing this Peacock thing. I really thought this was dead. I thought this was over. I thought this was a fad. But Universal seems to be the only studio that wants to keep this stupid fad alive. A fad that helps no one because theater, like, it kind of affects both negatively in a sense. Because as we've seen, like with the HBO Max experiment, especially that, lots of movies, like, they just did terrible. They bombed hard theatrically. They definitely lost a lot of potential money because they went to streaming at the same time. And I can't imagine they probably did well on streaming like the first weekend, and then after that, they were done for because apparently what happened was there was shoot, uh, Like they were like there for like a month and then they were gone and then it would come back later. That was the whole plan. And yeah, I don't think it worked. It didn't work out for anyone. No one benefited from it. So why keep doing it? That's my question. But anywho, so yes, this movie's coming out October 27th. Makes sense. Halloween weekend, like no brainer. Like so, yeah, yeah. That says while arguments can be made that these movies' domestic ticket sales were impacted by their availability in the homes, yeah, it's not even much of an argument. It's just a fact. Lots of movies struggled because of like doing theatrical and streaming at the same time. There's so many examples. It's crazy. So, yeah, this feels like a really bad idea. But I mean, considering the release date, considering the type of movie this is, obviously being a horror movie because it's based off a horror game, very iconic, very viral horror game. This movie really has one weekend of relevancy, and then it's game over. It's dead because after that, it has to deal with November, and you gotta deal with Dune Part Two. You gotta deal with the Marvels. You gotta deal with Hunger Games, Songbird, no, Ballad of Songbirds and Snake, like all the November movies. So this week, October 27th. That is one weekend to shine. So and usually these streaming movies they live for one weekend and then it's dead. Just their box office gets just decimated. So I guess there is some logic to this. I mean, I can't imagine a Five Nights at Freddy's movie would be like a big hit, especially now. If you made it when it was popular, then maybe. But now, I don't know. I feel like this movie is only going to do like middling business. So, yeah. Um, I mean, still, like, even with streaming, I mean, Halloween Kills and Ends, they still open with over $40 million. Granted, their legs were god awful, especially Halloween Ends. It opened with 40 million, ended at 64 million, which is horrendous. Just absolutely awful. So, I don't know. This feels like a mistake, but Universal wants to do it, so yeah. I guess we gotta wait to see like a trailer and everything, see how it looks before I can really judge it. But yeah, all you Five Nights at Freddy stands out there, today is a goodish day for you because you finally get your movie, and you get it in two ways. You can either go to the theater to watch it, or you can watch it on Peacock at home. So good for all of you, and that's it. That's really it. So time to play everyone's favorite game. What will happen next? I didn't predict a single thing that happened in this video. I had, I didn't think any of that would happen. What we just talked about. None of that was even in my mind before it was like announced. So let's look through the calendar. April, why would anything change now? There's no point. So April should be fun. May, same thing. Pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Fast X, Little Mermaid, it should be fun. June, Cross Spider Verse got a new trailer. It looks really good. I really want it to be good. I think it'll be good, but I really want it to do well. I really hope it doesn't get affected by this widespread superhero fatigue that's been going on because we all saw what happened with Ant-Man 3 and Shazam 2. I really don't want this movie to have the same fate. It shouldn't, but I'm crossing my fingers that it's a hit because it should be a hit. So, yeah, but everything else in June should release at this point. Like, why would anything change? I don't know about Harold and the Purple Crayon. I'm not too sure about that one, but everything else looks solid. July looks solid. We don't have an Insidious 5 trailer yet, but I guess there's time for it to start a marketing campaign, so I'm not going to be too concerned. I'm not too concerned about it. Oh, Barbie got a new trailer. The movie still looks fucking bizarre, and I want to watch it because of that. So, yeah. Yeah, the rest of July is fine. August, same thing. I know Blue Beetle got a trailer. Um, I haven't really seen it. Does anyone even want to watch that movie? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's really gonna watch any of the DC movies this year because they're all worthless, basically. Because we all know the DCU is finished, it's done, it's dead, it's in the ground. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So that's August, and then September. Everything here is fine. Well, that DC event movie, that's dead. October, where there's Killers of the Flower Moon, finally in October. There's Five Nights at Freddy's coming out the same weekend as Saw 10. That seems like a that is literally the definition. This is going to be the definition of box office cannibalism. They're literally the same genre. They're going to ruin each other. Granted, both movies would probably be front loaded anyway, so maybe they won't do that much damage to each other. But this is going to be a weird weekend if I have to cover both of those movies at once. It's going to be weird. Um, Then you got November, all these movies. There's Thanksgiving in there. um, Definitely the most bizarre movie out of everything here. Yeah, the rest of November, I mean, guess seems fine. Uh, December, yeah, Aquaman and The Color Purple, they swapped places and everything else. There's Wonka. Why does Warner Brothers have three movies coming out in December of this year? That seems like way too many, and all around the same time too. It's a strange choice. I don't get it. I don't get the plan, but whatever. Maybe Wonka will probably get delayed, but I don't know. We'll see. And then all these movies that will probably never get released ever, like Salem's Lot, just they're gonna kill it. I just know it. It's only gonna be a matter of time before they make an announcement on it and they're like, okay, this movie's dead. We canceled it. Then you got 2024. You got January, February. Toto, that's in the ether now. That's been replaced by the Wise Guys, I think. Yeah, the Wise Guys. And then you got March. And then you got April, May, June. There's Ballerina. Coming out the same time as the new Karate Kid movie, whatever that is. And then you got July, August, September, October, November, December, and then 2025. Yeah. So so lots go. Obviously, there's plenty of time for the calendar to get filled next year. So we'll see what else comes out next year, or even like this year. So it'll be interesting. So yeah, that's what the next 2 years look like. So yeah. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous cancel episodes I made the channel, all including this one. It's 185 episodes. If you want to watch any of those from beginning to now, I highly encourage you to do that. If you want to binge them all from beginning to now, go do it. There's also box office predictions where I predict box office for movies. I recently just published my Air prediction and my Super Mario Brothers movie prediction. My Paint prediction will come Friday, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made this year or any other years I've been doing this, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. March recap will come out next week. It's gonna be a wild one. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a whole lot to discuss. My voice might give out, but so stay tuned for that video. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.